Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and it is Sunday, so that means that it is the edition where we provide intel sent in from viewers like you. So, again, I want to say a special thank you and shout out to those of you that participated. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a video where we are doing it once a week, where basically, if you have boots on the ground information, firsthand knowledge, some sort of maybe article or video or whatnot that needs to be shared out, then all you got to do is email me. There is my email address right there on the bottom of the screen, and just send me that information that you have, that link, that article, whatnot. All that I ask is that if you're sending me something kind of big, maybe narrow it down on what you are trying to focus my attention on. And I put all these together and showcase it into this video. And the only thing for me, though, when it comes to this, is I get a lot of these for the most part. And so if I do not showcase yours, please do not take offense of it. I have to pick out, only some, so that way it's not like hours and hours long video, right? All right, so let's go ahead and hide that. And what we will do is we will jump in, and we will start talking about some of the things that we would like to talk about, right? So let's see. What is going to be number one is going to be this one here. All right, so it's down here. I can't control where all these go. So FDA reports a recall of 28 different drinks over chemical exposure. Now, if I scroll up a little bit, and I'm going to flip through these as I kind of talk about this, so you can kind of see what they're talking about. So right here is going to be some of your ginger ale. There is root beer, popular brand name. I can't control the ads again. There's some apple juice. There is Fiji water. It's actually one of my favorites. But if the list goes on and on, as we kind of flip through all this, it's not limited to any one thing. So as you see that there's milk, tea, there's coffee, uh, there's formula right there. So this is affecting basically people of all ages and whatnot. Now, keep in mind right there, that is vitamin 3 or D3. So they're even going after, some of the things along those. There's carrot juice. Again, more coffee, some different other ones. Here's kind of one of the big ones. Anybody that does any sort of the power aids or any of the sport drink things along those lines. There's more water. There's infant powder formula that is affected. There is more coffee, different teas, supplements, things like that. And you're starting to get the picture, right? So that is going to be the first of what we're going to talk about here. So just keep a heads up on, the things like that. The food supply is definitely becoming affected. And so we want to make sure that, we're kind of keeping a eye on all this, so to speak. So moving right along is going to be this one here: grocery store threats continue over the weekend. Now, this is going to be a little bit more kind of localized. Probably a lot of people did not hear about this. I know I didn't until somebody sent it to me. So there's been basically a rash of bomb threats in this Brookshire's grocery store. It seems to be just kind of affecting this chain for the most part. What people are doing is they're basically calling into the corporate office and calling in these threats, and then they're forcing it to where the store has to be evacuated, and the specialized people have to go in and search the buildings. Right now, they're not finding anything. These all just seem to be empty threats. But keep in mind, this kind of stuff right here seems to be ramping up. And you have to be able to prepare for that, right? Because you don't know where you're going to be when something like this happens. You might be in that store, you might be heading to that store, and you have to be able to prepare that, something like this can, and, as you see in that article, it does happen. So we need to make sure that we set ourselves up to be more self sufficient. So you're not fully relying on these grocery store chains and things like that anyway, right? So moving right along is going to be this one. Let me get rid of the ad. So world's first carbon tax on livestock will cost farmers $100 per cow. Now, yes, I know this is a CNN article, but let's just go down through here and see what they have to say. So there's a nice picture of some wonderful cows right there. This is in Denmark, so it's not in the US. But what they're basically proposing, and it's not saying that, I should actually go ahead and put that right there. So they're going to go ahead and introduce this. So this is going to be the world's first carbon emissions tax on agriculture. Now, this is going to start in 2030, so we are, five and a half years away. But you have to keep in mind that they are a pretty major, dairy exporter. They have a lot of cows, and so it's going to hit the market. You're going to have to raise a bunch of prices in order to cover those $100 per head cow that you have, or you're just going to close up shop and thus taking a lot of the dairy products off the market. Either way, it's kind of bad news, right? Uh, I'm not entirely sure what the $100 per cow is really going to do, other than give me money, right? So I guess we'll end up just happen to see if that even goes through, because again, we are quite a ways away from the initial point of that starting to take effect. So just a heads up on that. I had some people send it in, so I did want to go ahead and share it. Next is going to be another ad. 13 popular ice cream brands recall products nationwide due to potential contamination. So down through here, most people, as they kind of lead off with this article, a good scoop of ice cream on a hot summer day is refreshing. A lot of people like the frozen treats and different things like that, and so it's one of the ones that people like. But let me go ahead and put this list right here. As you can see, these are some of the brand names, and you've got some big ones like Hershey's, Jenny's, and other ones like that. So it's going to be one of the ones where you're going to have to make sure that you check what you have, be wary of what you buy in the future, and kind of keep an eye on this, right? Because when we're talking about contamination, we're talking about things like salmonella, botulism, things like that. Those can potentially be bad news. So we just want to keep an eye on all that stuff and make sure that we do our best to not only be aware of it, but to also do what we can to counter it the best thing or best way that we possibly can. Now, let's see. One of the ones I do want to share real quick is going to be this one. So there is this, I believe it already is upgraded. Yes. So uh, Cat 3 hurricane, they're estimating it that it could reach Cat 4. Now, granted, this image right here, it is still ways out, but they are predicting that it could turn Cat 4 somewhere in here and then weaken as it comes up here. I've seen a number of different other predictions. This one right here shows, one path where it does come up the East Coast, but most of the ones seem to push it right through here into Mexico. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But if you live down here in this southern part of the United States, down here in the Gulf Coast area, just a heads up, you've got weather coming. This is that time where we start seeing a lot more of the tornadoes, hurricanes, and things like that. So I do want to make sure that I bring this up so that way people are weather aware. Now, the last one that I want to come through and present to you is actually one that I kind of stumbled on this morning, and that's going to be one here. Let me pause that because that's not the video. So let me turn that down. All right, so I'm gonna let this play in the background for a minute. So as you can see right there underneath of it, it says AI predicts an American Civil War. Now this is the first of some videos that they have put out. Now keep in mind, if you look up here in the address bar, this is msn.com. This video actually is pretty good. It's pretty it's semi-detailed. It gives some pretty decent yet basic prepping advice. It kind of lays out a little bit of a scenario as they go through. As you can see there, day zero, it goes on to kind of unfold what a scenario would look like if a civil war was to happen, how it might happen, what it would be like before, during, and after, and things like that. So I was actually kind of impressed. Now, as you saw right there, they asked GPT, the AI piece, on what a civil war would look like. They also have a follow-up video to this on asking AI to predict World War III. Both of them are pretty interesting videos. And what I will do is I will actually link this article slash video down in the description section. So if you want to go watch it, I believe it's about a 10-minute video or whatnot. And they're sharing it from a channel called How to Survive. And I just find it interesting. A lot of this seems to be coming more to the forefront. Prepping is becoming more mainstream. There's a lot of this stuff that seems to be taking hold as we have Hollywood coming out and making movies called, Civil War. Now you're having all these articles and all this other stuff come through. And I like, actually, in the end of this, that they even go through and they say, if you're going to have Civil War or World War, which one is going to happen first? And that kind of plays a pivotal role into a lot of it. So I'll link it down there. We'll see. Maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't, but I just want to be able to leave that option open to you. So that's what I've got for you guys for this week's edition, which is the news of last week that we want to go over and talk about. So again, if you have any sort of information or something along those lines, I will scroll this right here, that if you have story, intel, anything along those, please send it to my email address. I will go through them, pick out what I can, and we will be back next Sunday where we will do this all over again. So again, shout out and appreciation to all those that participated. You guys rock. I can't do this segment without you, right? It's all based on you, the viewer and the subscriber. So again, thank you. But that's all I've got for you guys today. So I just want to hope that you guys have a blessed day, a great day, and enjoy your Sunday and what's left of your weekend. Stay tuned because there's definitely more information to come. And with that, I want to remind you to, above everything else, remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.